Okay, we've got a two-car train today. So what they're going to do, they're going to go around, do a 15-minute loop around the track and make sure there's no trees falling down or anything overnight. And then they're going to... As soon as I got it halfway there, I'm like, okay, now I know. Okay, we've got a two-car train today. So what they're going to do, they're going to go around, do a 15-minute loop around the track and make sure there's no trees falling down or anything overnight. And then they're going to set that back. Oh, okay. Yeah, we're over here. What we're going to do is we're going to get the four of you guys in through the turnstile at least. So you'll go ahead and take out whatever ticket material you were going to use to get in the park today. I'll get one of the We'll have some time to ask you guys how much fun you guys had this morning. Oh yeah. You're right. We'll talk about that. You guys are riding on the Lily Bell. We have one of our four original steam trains. We've got the Lily Bell that are young, that she was built in 1928. We've got the Roger and the Walter. Identical trains. Their oilers are serial numbers on the car. Very, very unusual. After almost 80, 85 years, they're still working together. And then our fourth train, he's back in the Roundhouse, will probably see that. That's the Roy, the oldest one. They're authentic steam trains, built in the Locomotive factory back in Philadelphia, outside Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Not sure why we're stopping. They probably got 2 cars. Oh, we don't trip. Nope. That's what it is. What's happening? Normally we have a 4-car operation or 5-car operation. And on the 4th car, there's a sensor that trips the lights and the arms and everything like that. But we don't have that sensor on the train. So it makes it a little more interesting in how we go about things in the morning. Only because that's the backstage area. That's where we keep all of our floats for the parade. Our day parade's back there, our nighttime parade, the Halloween parade, the Christmas parade, all the We're also going to see an example of a hidden look above the land up in the clouds. There's on the back. That's the way our Imagineers actually sign their artwork. It'd be a little hard to sign an attraction like Black Mountain, so they go ahead and they hide things throughout the attraction, usually where they only know it is. That was kind of a more obvious type thing. The train station that we're rolling through next tomorrow at Frontierland. I'm going backwards already. Not the original station that was there. The original station actually is where Black Mountain was. They tore it down in order to put the Black up. We also have another example of rail, not necessarily railroad, but rail. The easiest way to get ore out of the mine is to run some crap down. And then either haul it out by hand in a cart, donkey pole in a cart, or it's really started talking about the bridge, we started laughing. We jumped on the bridge. You notice that green stuff in the water there? Kind of looks like hardstone. It's actually a plant called duckweed. It looks like a three-leaf clover. It's got a very long root system. People use it in an aquarium. They've got baby fish. So what it is let the baby fish hide in it. And then they get away from the big fish and try to eat them. We figure we've got a corner on the world market of that stuff there. So a couple of conductors and engineers that we're going to go into business. We've got the product name all figured out. Distribution facility. We're going to call it Donald Duckweed. That's a Usually we've got a lot of slack in the coupling, and as we start to back up, that slack starts coming out of it.
So what's back here?
What's back here? Oh, you guys are going to get to see it. Okay, how well can you guys see the engineers up front? Pretty good this time. Imagine 3 more cars worth of things here, which is the normal. And it makes it so hard to see back here. Basically, the engineers are backing up the line at this point in time. They can't see where they're going. They can't see back here. They're relying on Bob to let them know where they are. As soon as we got established on the street, buzzes on the buzzers, as soon as we get established here on the bridge, you can say, there I am. We're also crossing our creek here. Many of our alligators are out. We don't find alligators that kind of live back here. We've got a 5-footer and a couple of 4-footers. I don't see them yet this morning. So we're going to come back out here and we'll find them back out. They usually come out to drink the tank. They're coming on at 8 and we just made them late. When the fire department used to be here, the sewer goes one way every single day. It never makes a place. So we just go with the flow. Right now, the very far bay, first bay all over there, Joy is in that bay and it's torn apart. They actually found a crack in the terrace of the creek. They pulled it apart, pulled the piece out, and get it ready to recap the piece. As we pull into the roundhouse, a couple of things you guys can know. One, you're not going to be allowed to get off. Go to the roundhouse and our critical cover you guys. But if you roll into it and stop for a couple of seconds, I'll be able to stay out of the things going on here. Get off. Right you've got problems with it. And it pulls along behind it a light, because usually when we fix the tractors at night, they do it at night so it doesn't impact the gas. However, there's an orange buggy here, probably all the way over in the first bay. Our least favorite friend is when it comes out, the guy usually has a big bucket of grease and a flush. And what he does is he lays graphite down on the track. The first trip around after he's graphited it isn't too bad. All you're doing is put grease all over all the wheels. It's the second trip afterwards that's a lot of fun. But now you put the brakes on, and you're expecting to start to slow down, and you don't slow down. You hit the station at 10 miles an hour, pass the conductor at about 8, hit the wheelchair ramp at about 6, and instead you go by the conductor at 10, and you go by the wheelchair ramp at 10, and you go, oh boy, we're going for a ride. What happens? You end up 2, 3, sometimes a half an hour, a car length out. One day we actually slid the entire train all my cars. This is a good time for brakes. As we apply them, we usually turn them on for a few minutes, turn them off for a few minutes. Oh yeah. Got rid of a lot of mosquitoes. They were killed already. You don't usually like to smoke that bad. When it smokes that bad, it builds up an awful lot of soot. That was Peter's job. That was just the second one. Right. There for the obviously on the coast there, I think. Or it looks good in that the fire department flat track. No fire. Start up again. The problem was, the fire department calling still find fires going on back there. Not at all. They have one more stop today. Then they'll start backing up the train and getting ready to run. That into the easy to get a hold of and less expensive until we find the biofuel. Actually, yeah, we were getting a very good deal from the guy because we were providing them a lot of material that they were going to expect them to do. Okay, they're coming back now. That rumbling sound, that's actually the Walt engine firing up. It just came out of the pit. Shut it down and get it all fixed up. This will be the thing that we're going to fly on. Brakes on the car. There are no brakes in the tender or the engine, so if you come to the public, fun. It's actually pretty good challenge. We did it for the tour one day, and 4 engineers doing it the first time we ever done it. Now we're going to work our way forward a little bit. Ready to burn them hot. This right here, the cylinder here, and this pump, that's basically our braking system. This pump has got a piston in it about 9 to 12 inches wide. The car piston is about like that with a 9-inch stroke. So this thing will pump a little bit of air. Fill up this cylinder and that's what it goes with. This entire long area right here, hear that sound just then? Yeah, kind of like a whoops. Okay, that's an automatic braking system being activated. It's that little box sitting underneath the fender, labeling to it. What that does is, if we run a red light, it'll automatically lock our brakes up. You'll hear that whoop sound go off and the brakes will lock. Right in front of the drive wheel. The reason you'd want to jump sand there is to get a little bit better traction on a icy cold morning. Yeah, we don't get many of them here in Florida. We're going up a very steep incline. We don't have many inclines in Florida. We got a 2% upgrade coming out of Toontown. We can handle a 2% upgrade. So we don't use it at all. There's actually no sand even in there. You're going to notice steam coming out of the side. Steam's actually coming out of this area right down here. It's called our steam cock. We open them up here in the yard, again, to get the condensed water out of the piston. This is our piston right here. The more water we can get out of there, the less it impacts the maintenance packing around the outside of it. We don't have to change it as often. It's a requirement to have it opened in the yard. The conductors get to flip that switch. It causes a buzzer to ring up here. I'll show you. This is the piston right here. And our steam cock's letting out a little of the condensed water. That's water that's condensed to the piston. Inside of here there's a D-shaped valve. What that D-shaped valve does, in conjunction with the transmission, which is that big hunk of metal in the center there. And then the position of the Johnson bar, which is that big bar you see up in the window there, they determine, grab a hold of the crane when you're coming up. You're not going to move 85 tons of steel, so you'll go all the way over to the flat edge. If I can get you to step up front here to that line. If I can, yeah, just, you're fine there. If I can get, Chase, if I can get you to come forward. You can stand it. Get a little more forward. I can get the last two of you up. You see it? Okay. Welcome to my world. Don't go any closer than here. It's warm. Yeah, that's still a couple hundred degrees. Trust me on that one.
You found out a couple times.
Oh, yeah. I'm trying to figure out what that means. Yeah. All of the engineers have donated parts of their bodies to the trains at various times. So cotton is the best thing to wear. We've actually had, I wore a different pair of socks one day, and we were backing up, and I actually sucked the pump because that's the brake pump up here, and these nozzles right here move water and steam around to add water to the boiler. This is an inside steam valve. Over there's the generator. So you're up here sometimes, not often, but quite often up here working these valves, and the train is rocking and rolling. Luckily I got to her before she did that. Ow, that's hot. Oh, come on, door. Let's see how far this door opens. Ah, good.
That's the old firebox.
Just wanted to get you guys a little warmer, that's all. Yeah. Yep, this is our firebox. If you look inside of there, it's basically a brick oven. That's all it is. If you look at the very back wall, you'll see a black nozzle back there. If you actually, you guys could probably see all the way on the top of the back wall there, there's about 100 little holes. And those are the copper pipes that take the hot air from inside of the firebox, pull it through those copper tubes through the water. Heat's then transferred to the water. It gets it boiling, and then that hot air then continues out and goes out through the stack. What we do, you guys are sitting on it, so I'm not going to pull it out now. But it's okay. We take cotton batting from a mattress. We get it from a mattress factory. And then he does the same thing for the firebox. Gets all the water out of that factory part. You get the door on the other side. It almost gets this lit. There he goes. There's a little bit of flame coming out the bottom. A lot of smoke coming out of the top. Very often when it first lights off, even lift a little bit, it's cooled off there, and as it's trying to heat back up, a lot of metal is standing and cracking in there. It'll bark and it'll make all sorts of noises, and it'll go out quite often. Notice Heather's sitting where her lights are well out of the way. Harry Potter movies. When they're coming out of London going up to Hartford, there's an elderly lady that pushes a magical trolley that sells magical toys and candies to the kids. That's pretty much what a news butcher is. They sold newspapers, candy, tobacco products, soda pop, whatever they could to the guests in between stations. They spent $30 to get their costumes and their first outlay of food. Anything that they made from then on was pure profit for them. Roy got a job that summer as a news butch, and was very conscientious about it. Roy was the financial part of the team of the Disney Brothers. Walt was the imaginative one, but Roy was the financial one. Didn't surprise anybody at all. He made a lot of money that summer as a news butch. Walt was very envious of his older brother making so much money and wanted to be a news butcher, but he had to wait till he was 16 years old. Here's a good example of them using their steam power. And again, it's a very different wheel configuration. going to be building up that pressure as they go along. Unfortunately, you're not going to be here to see it. They're actually unhooking the Lily from her cars. They're going to bring her out, bring her back, and park her where they can get at her. I was wondering why they were throwing her out. Okay, once you get clear of the monorail being here, we'll pull all the way up to the crossing, but we won't really want it to be a new first, but we have to wait until they actually move the sand immediately. Collected up the bottles, because back in those days they washed the bottles out and refilled them at the factory and sent them back out. So he put the bottles on the last car, started selling stuff up and down the train as they went, and then as they got about halfway through the day, all of a sudden they noticed that the last two cars got on personality as he goes real loud for quite a while and then drops the hand. And then try not to talk over the whistles too, because it's too loud. The Walt personality is his pop-off will continue going and going and going until they're about halfway across the street and stuff. The Rogers personality is a brake pump guy. The Lily Bell's personality, she's our only female train. And she goes out, does her thing in the morning, and likes being pampered and put back to bed and rests for the rest of the day. If you need to use her the rest of the day, she'll do the job, but she will let you know every second of it. She's doing you a favor. That's purpose. Okay, as we come up here, you're going to see a blue locking our brakes up. That checks to make sure Dan hopped off and set up.
Why don't you want to take pictures?
Oh, because we just don't want pictures of the
That's security?
that mechanism that will stop us. They had a dump truck on it. Great big old dump truck. Wham! There's the dump truck. Back to the hold the dump truck back to the wrecker. Thing like bust down, no problem. It'll take a beat. They went in just after 9/11. It's actually, security for you guys while you're in the park. We are a pretty good target. Not to make you feel like you got bullseyes on. Okay, let's see if our elevator's back out. What we're going to do is we're going to dump some steam out of the bottom of the boiler into the creek here. Basically lowering that water in the boiler down to hit that hole. When you dump water into the creek, and that temperature change, the alligator sense the food. Just trying to get those valves open to start adding water into the boiler to get it up out of that hole. after a while, if they don't get them going as fast, they need to start relighting that boiler to keep the pressure up. But they're only going to get 90 seconds of fire out of the boiler. Yeah, she's headed into her valve. There's valves on each side. Actually, they teach us here. Yeah. Surprisingly, it takes about a week. We spend 1 day in steam school learning about the boiler itself, and then 4 days of driving. And the hardest part is driving and fire, and the hardest part about driving is stopping. We have an area that we hit a mark plus or minus 6 inches. So you go from 10 miles an hour to that mark. When you hit it right, the ramp here is right up the gate to the disability. Well, they must have won the battle. Good. Yay! Well, they're going to take it, one of the two. So, well, I'll get back to that. He ate a lot of the peanuts. But this car was the mail car. And they actually sorted U.S. mail in the car. So you weren't allowed to get into this car. Well, he discovered with a little bit of bribery, he could get into the car. But that ate into his because he wanted to get up to the cabin through the cabin. So he'd bribe him and get up into the cabin and watch things up there for a while. After about 3 days of doing that, finally took a look at him and goes, "Huh. So I started to learn how to fire." Again, a lot more work than this. So he learned all of that. You know, it's a lot more complicated than the first part. Well, the engineer, after about 2 weeks, sitting there watching his partner in the system, laying back, not doing anything but pumping on his cigar, and goes, "What is this thing?" Hey, son, I'd like to learn how to drive the thing. Oh, he's better. A couple of them cigars, I'll teach you how to drive. So Walt would drive his way into here, and then pay off the fireman and the engineer with the car. Our movies have brought us along, really.
Is this head really burning?
Not that I'm aware of.
What other secrets do you know of?
I can't say. Opened 37 minutes ago. Walter's, well, Toontown doesn't open till 10, so there's less people back in this area. Okay, so when Disneyland opened in 1955, they actually had built 2 trains for Disneyland themselves, and built the trains using a lot of the information from the train that they used in the Disney Studios that moved then to Walt's backyard. We're going to talk more about his backyard train here later. They used all that information to build the Disneyland train. And then they built the first 2 and then realized they could buy them would be much better. So they spent money and bought the second 2 trains. A guy by the name of Roger Brody, the gentleman that was charged to go find those trains in Disneyland. 1955, 1966 rolled around and Walt authorized steam trains to come into what was then called the Florida Project. Unfortunately, soon thereafter, Walt died. And there was a lot of question whether or not the Florida Project was even going to continue. Brother Roy, who had been planning to retire, decided, no, I'm not going to retire. I'll make sure that Walt's dream comes true. And this park was open. So he stepped in out of retirement to make sure that the park opened up. Walt, he was a heavy smoker. You never saw it on TV. So, once the Florida Project was going again, Roger Brody was given the job to go find steam trains for Magic Kingdom. Well, when he found the trains for Disneyland in the 50s, there was probably 100,000 steam trains available in the United States. We had just undergone the transition from steam to diesel, so there were a lot of steam trains available. Now, in the late 60s, there was less than probably 10,000 steam trains in the United States. Most of those were in private collection or already running on, cars or something like that. Very few that were sitting around, and anything that's been sitting around more than about 2 or 3 years really starts to fall apart. So they spent from 66 to 69 looking for the trains and found them yet. A gentleman from the studios went on vacation to Cancun, Mexico, and then took a tour up to the capital city, that area called Merida. And as they were coming to Merida, they saw a train boneyard just outside the town. It looked like it had hundreds of steam trains. Mexico had just finished its transit steam trains, so there were a lot of steam trains there. We got back to Roger and said, hey, I found a bunch of steam trains. They hopped on a train the very next day and headed down. We found the Lily Bell within hours. He'd been in the boneyard less than 2 months. Walter and the Roger they found within that first hour. Again, they'd been in there probably less than 6 months. They were real good. They spent the rest of the time looking for the Roy the rest of the day. Roger negotiated a price of about $8,000 for it. Putting on all sorts of stuff. We don't try to. Once you guys have got your picture.
Please remain seated until the train comes to full and complete stop and give you all clear. Alright, people, please stay seated until the train comes to full and complete stop and give you all clear.